Shri Puneet Narula, the Country Director, India and Head University Partnerships, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. Please put your hands together and welcome with a big round of applause, Shri Puneet Narula.
Most revered Dr. Professor Karad, members on the dais and my friends. It's an absolute honor for me to be standing here and talking to you. To be honest, I don't even think that I deserve to be here. I'm not a great scientist. I'm not a great philosopher, to be honest. And I am not anything, I am a soldier come educationist. Just as an introduction, I was a commander in the Indian Navy, worked there for 25 years, and then moved to Singapore for higher education. And since then, I have been there in Nanyang Technological University. It's the number 11 ranked university in the world as per QS rankings 2019. Keeping my background in context, I'm going to share my experiences, both in the military and having lived in Singapore for the last 12 years, for what in my are very simple examples of how you can introduce value-based education system. In my opinion, the world has progressed leaps and bounds as far as the technology is concerned. In a short span of 5 to 6 decades that I've been on this earth, I have seen so much progress happening. But has it brought peace and harmony in the world today? I think it's a debatable topic. World is less in peace, less in equilibrium. If the progress brings in more bloodshed, terrorism, deaths, I don't think so we are at the right place today. As Swami Vivekananda said, that religion is nothing but performing one's duty towards society and mankind. Such a profound statement made about 100 years back, and even today, it holds good. Wherever one is born, whether in India or in any part of the world, there are some intrinsic basic values which are essential, irrespective of your religion, caste, creed, color, wherever. Some of these are respect for elders, respect for society, honesty, integrity, being humble, and it can go on and on. But no one can deny that these intrinsic values have one common theme, thread binding all these, and that is spirituality. Every religion in this world, be it Gita, be it Bible, be it Quran, comes down to one simple thought process, like somebody also said, be a good human being. If you can be a good human being, I think absolutely things will fall in place, not only for our country, but for the world at large. I'll give you an example now of Singapore. Singapore is a very multicultural society with about 75% Chinese, 15% Malay, and 8% are Indians. And you wouldn't have heard any time religious disharmony or any kind of tension in the society. And this is happening because of deliberate attempts of the government. They have a quota in the public housing scheme where number of nationalities in a building will be as proportion to the population. So in a building of 100 people, 75 will be Chinese, 15 will be Malays, and 8 will be Indians. And even if you sell a house, you have to sell it to the same, to keep the proportion same. See, what it does is, very simply, it lets people come together, they enjoy each other's festivities, they understand each other, and thereby, you will not hear too much of racial, I'm not saying it is zero there, but much, much, much reduced. And this is one simple example where government pitches in and holds this religious harmony, intact. Another example, let me share. All male people, all male have to undergo 2 years of military training, compulsory military training after high school before they can join the universities. In the university, I see it happening. These kids who have gone through the military training are very disciplined, very cultured, very respectful of the other gender. You will not find, in the university I have 35,000 students, and some of who you have visited NTU, will see there'll not be people on the roads, there'll be nothing, no chaos happening, they'll all be very diligently studying in their classes or in library, and that I will give it on to character building during the military training, that 2 years compulsory they have. So you see, education is for leading life and not for earning only your livelihood. On the same lines, we had Gurukul system. People from all walks of life used to come. They used to revere their gurus. They used to do their daily chores. And it was with a purpose that they learned the basic intrinsic values of how to live in a society. It will inculcate self-discipline among the shishyas. So schools for souls is what I feel should be the thing to go ahead. As parents, we also need to lead by example. Just by telling our children that this is the right thing or wrong thing will not change anything. We have to be role models. We ourselves have to take the lead. So the child sees the parents doing it, automatically it will follow. You don't have to tell him even that. I'll share another example of Japan. Somebody I think shared of Thailand also. Children of 6 to 7 years of age, first thing they come to their school is sweep the floors, clean their classrooms, mop it, and they're doing willingly. There is a beautiful YouTube video, you must see it, 1-minute video, and you will realize that they're laughing, they're having fun, because they clean their place and then they start the academic classes. Afternoon, they distribute food to each other. These are 6, 7-year-old kids, So you can imagine that what values he comes up with. Japan is one of the cleanest countries I've seen in all over the world. And this comes from, right from childhood, 6 to 7 years old people, they are doing this kind of stuff. So that is where the education has to start. My previous speaker also said, childhood. You can't be teaching a 30-year-old or 25-year-old value-based education. It should come from within. National Defense Academy. I was trained in National Defense Academy, which is not very far from, where we are sitting today. We used to lay a lot of emphasis on honesty. It's one of the most, I think in my personal opinion, it is one of the most important virtues in life. To give you an example, we used to run 9 kilometers almost every day as cross-country. If one cadet is caught taking a shortcut, right, so you can take a shortcut, he'll be relegated for 6 months. He has to repeat the whole term for just taking a shortcut. That is where you build the honesty. And believe you me, I have left the military, I'm working now in Singapore. Wherever I have come, wherever I have worked with, this aspect of mine has always stood in good stead. With the uniform, not with uniform, doesn't matter. These are some of the basic intrinsic values that I feel should be driven down right from childhood level. Truly universal. Another example of how defense forces, institute respect for women, which is one of the bane of the society. I feel sad, I feel angry when you hear cases in India which are absolutely shameful. On ships, whenever we were in harbor, the officers who go into the ship in the morning and come out in the evening after work, they have to be saluted by the duty staff. The sailors who are not officers rank below are not saluted while entering or leaving the ship. But ladies, whether there are daughters or wives, 5-year, 25-year, when they enter the ship, whether they are wives of sailors or officers, will be saluted. While leaving, they will be saluted again. What a simple way to respect a woman. And this inculcates in you. It just comes naturally to you. I'm looking at the time clock also. Somebody has already mentioned that, you should have meditation. I wish when I was a child, this could have been taught to you. I think about it, but when I sit down, within 30 seconds, I just lose my track. So if Professor Karar and his team can develop courses, I'll be the first one to enroll and come here and stay here for 10, 15 days. So ultimately, it is the strong values and socio-emotional competencies which will help our children to succeed in any life. My last example is from Chinese philosophy. They have something called called yin and yang. Now, in everybody's mind, I think there is a factor of positive thoughts which keep coming in, and there is a negative thoughts which keep coming in. It happens with every human being. It all depends on what we are feeding to those thoughts. Those thoughts don't know whether they are good or bad. It is if we impress upon the negativities, output is going to be negative. There is no doubt about it. And if you keep feeding the positivities of life, the thoughts, the outcome will be absolutely positive. That is guaranteed. And with this, I have become a better person in life. I've become a better husband, a better father, and a better citizen who's contributing in a little bit way to the society in general. Somebody mentioned corruption. In Singapore, there is zero tolerance for corruption, right from independence of 1965. To give you an example, in the initial part of their independence, some senior public servants, politicians, whatever you call them, they are human beings, they were caught in corruption. They committed suicide because they knew that now the state or the legal system is not going to leave us whatever may happen. That is moral values. That is inculcating the value system in the education thing. So you can imagine, since then, there is, I'm not saying zero corruption, it can never happen, but it's minimalistic. You go there, some of you I'm sure have visited, a great place to be. And I think as an ex-military officer, I must keep to my time. And in the end, I have just one thing to say. India does not need one of such halls, beautiful halls, spiritual halls. When I was climbing up, I actually had goosebumps, So we need hundreds of such halls, and it's a great initiative by Professor Karad. And I absolutely thank you all. Jai Hind, and God bless.